What's up, YouTube? Woo! 6 subscribers. Maybe there are some people out there like me, or people that just like to watch stories about train wreck lives. I was gonna try to make a video every week, but I don't even realize how long it's been until I look and I'm like, damn, I haven't posted anything in like a month. But so I figured I'd make a video real quick. Also, there was someone asked about like how I was doing and whatnot, and so I'll get to that right after the story. Anyway, this is kind of a quick story. When I was younger, just like an alcohol story. So I was probably I'd say about 17, and I was drinking heavily, and who knows what else really. I don't remember a whole lot of it, bits and pieces. But anyway, I'll try to make this short and sweet. I was getting drunk, and I was in this apartment complex with one of my friends, like low-income housing. This is, a bunch of apartments, Section 8 apartments, and whatnot. And I remember drinking there, and then I blacked out, and I don't remember anything. And when I woke up, I was in a shed. It was the middle of the winter, in a t-shirt with no shoes on. My phone was gone. Everything was gone. And I was fucking cold. I remember at first, I took my lighter. I had a lighter, and I'd like light it inside of my shirt and like get inside of my shirt and try to get like some sort of heat. Like I was seriously cold. And that fucked up, and still that cold. Like it was dangerous, and I was in a t-shirt too. I had no t-shirt, no shoes, like middle of the winter, probably like 10 degrees. And I was in someone's shed, so I like got inside my t-shirt and I was lighting a lighter. It wasn't really getting that warm. So for some reason, I don't really remember. I remember I dragged a bunch of shit out of the shed and like out onto like the street. But then I like left it, and there was a camper in the driveway, like one of those campers you drive. I'm like, fuck, I need to get warm. So I thought I'd get inside of the camper, and I remember like trying to break the window, but I like couldn't even stand up straight. I was so drunk. I was like falling over and fucking like beating on it with my hand. And good thing I didn't fucking break it too, because later on in life I have broken a few windows with my hand, and it usually doesn't work out too well for your hand. So I'm glad that didn't work. But anyway, my fucking dumbass, I ended up, after I don't know how long I was doing that for, just opening the door to the camper. It wasn't even locked. So I'm like beating on the window trying to break the window. It wasn't even fucking locked. It's a typical fucking dumb shit. Anyway, so I ended up getting into the camper, and I'm in there, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. And all of a sudden I hear people talking outside of the camper, and I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So anyway, I'm like, what the fuck? And I like peek out the window, and there's cops, and I'm like, fuck. And I can hear him talking, and I hear the guy like saying he saw me like beating on the window to the camper and this and that and whatever, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. So there was like cushions in there, and I like got ducked right down like under the cushions, and the cop like walked over the window, shined the flashlight in, and I was like ducked right down. He didn't see me, and the next thing I hear him say, well, he's helping him put the shit back in the shed and whatever. And I hear the cop say, well, if he comes back or you hear or see anything, just give us a call, and we'll be right back. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get away with this. And I did. The cop left. Shortly after the cop. So anyway, after I like pulled the shit out and I was like banging on the window, the dude must have went to get the phone, call the cops. And as he was calling the cops was when I went in the camper, so he didn't see me get in it. But anyway, so after the cops had left, whatever, he went back in his house. I like jumped out of the camper, took off, and imagine how stupid I look. It's like 10 degrees, probably 1 o'clock in the morning, in a t-shirt with no shoes on, just running down the street. Actually, like, I ran through this, like, graveyard, like, hopped a fence through the trees and stuff. I'm, like, eating bushes as I... Anyway, and I'm like, fuck. So the friend I had originally split up with, I knew his... I hung out with him a lot. I knew his number in my mind. So I'm like, I gotta get a hold of him. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I ended up going to Papa John's. So it must have been, yeah, Papa John's closed at 1 here. So, yeah, sometime probably between midnight and 1. Anyway, I get to Papa John's, and I walk in, and I look fucking stupid, man. And I'm, like, just belligerently fucked up. But the dude behind the counter, you know, he was just about to get off work. You know, typical, like, just didn't really care about his job. It was just, you know, he looked like he smoked weed. He's like, yeah, man. He was all nice and shit. Let me use the phone. And I called my friend, and he told me to meet him, like, over wherever. And I went and met up with him and whatnot. And I guess we were, like, kind of partying at this kid's house, drinking and whatever, the story that I heard after the fact. And he had to run somewhere, my friend that I was with originally. And I was, like, all fucked up. So he told the dude we were hanging out with just to keep an eye on me or whatever. And that dude had told him that the last he had seen of me, I was crawling down the sidewalk, just puking and crawling away, and I just, like, disappeared or whatever. But anyway, so that's a short story that I ended up, not getting in any trouble for, but it was somewhat close. A lot of those stupid stories like that. Anyway, I feel like I'm kind of trying to rush this so I can try to get some sleep tonight, but I feel like I could have probably told that story better, so I might in the future. I'll post this, but maybe in the future, if more people start listening or whatever, I'll repost it in more detail and maybe tell it a little better instead of rushing it. But I've been doing good. As far as sobriety goes, I've been doing good. I'm sober. I've been having a real hard time with sleep. For some reason, I have the worst insomnia in the world, and it doesn't matter how exhausted I am. Like, I could not sleep, like, 2 days and be, like, exhausted, like, working and stuff during the day. I feel like I'm just going to fall flat on my face. Then once I get home and actually lay down, like, I can't just fall asleep. It's terrible. And, you know, I've taken melatonin and Benadryl, been on trazodone, Ambien. I don't want any benzos or anything like that. Anyway, I need to just figure out on my own. But thinking about it, I think this is, it goes way back to when I was younger, because, like, I dropped out of school really young, and, like, my first job, I had my first apartment when I was 15 with somebody else, but I was working full-time at Burger King. I dropped out of school, got my worker's permit, I got my GED, and I was working nights, and I kind of got into that rhythm really, really young, like I said, like 15 years old, of just, like, I'd go to work at 4 p.m., get out of work at midnight, and that was, like, when my day started. Like, I'd be going to sleep at, like, 10 or 11 in the morning, get up at 3 for work, go to work, you know what I mean? And it was just, like, you know, staying up all hours of the night, and through my active addiction, it was like that the majority of the time as well. And I had a good chunk of sobriety, you know, at one point, and I did work days that entire time, but it was always a struggle, and I was always going on just a couple hours of sleep. Just sleep's always, like, I can't seem to shut my mind off at night, and that it's frustrating, but other than that, I've been doing really well. I've been sober since July, so it's been a long time. It's crazy how fast it goes. This summer I'll have a year, you know, and I'm staying this way this time. I know what it all leads to, and it's all just misery. One thing I will say that's weird though is like when I'm in jail, I'll sleep perfect. Like once I get into a routine there and stuff, like I'll get up when they bring breakfast at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning, and like I get in a routine. I work out a couple, like I usually get in really good shape. It's the only thing that releases endorphins or like any sort of like feel good chemical in my brain, and I'm always so low that like it's the only thing that helps. And then I get like, I just trade addictions, and I end up like, you know, working out 2 hours a day, eating the best that I can. Like I usually come out in really good shape, but I always I can sleep at night, and I like get up in the morning. And that's one thing I think that helps is exercise. And I need to push myself, and I've been having a hard time pushing myself. But that I like, you know, staying sober is one thing, but I need to do more than just that. You know what I mean? Nobody gets like nobody's throwing a parade for you just for staying. Like that's just a normal thing that everybody should be doing. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to it than that. You need to be, you know, able to function and you know, take care of your responsibilities and whatnot. I've been trying to read a little bit more, and kind of like plan out my future. I write down my goals, like break down my goals, and I'll write them down the night before, and then I'll try to accomplish them the next day. But even that, like I'll write them down, and then I'll start picking, and I'll do like 2 out of 8 things that I was supposed to do each day. And I know I could kill it in life and do like really, really well if I could just set my mind to it and get in that mindset of just like nothing's gonna stop me. I'm gonna do what I need to do, you know. But it's a hard mindset to get into. But I think exercise would help with the sleep thing, and it just helps with everything. You know, so I think I need to focus on maybe trying to get into a routine again. Even with the gyms closed, I could still at least, you know, do something, buy a power tower or something, be able to at least do pull-ups 2 days a week, and pull-ups and curls, and then push-ups and push-ups and triceps the other 3 days a week or whatever. I don't know. I need to figure something out. I think that would help. Not just physical health, but mental health. But anyway, here's a video. I'm going to try to start posting more often. The few people that do watch, I appreciate the support. I really do. Anyway, have a good night, you guys. Bye.